What's up, IG? YouTube, see everybody checking in on this Monday. So we are basically gearing up for Monday Chalk Talk. So just a little bit of business talk. So this is about a 20-minute conversation that we have every single Monday on Monday Morning Chalk Talk, which is basically just my way of having a good business conversation, having sharing my experience, sharing things that I've been through and kind of lessons that I've learned in my 17-year business journey. So basically the goal is just to create a community of people that are out there trying to accomplish whatever it is they're trying to accomplish, whatever their goals are. And so that basically resulted in this Monday Morning Chalk Talk. So see everybody check it in. Paulie G, what's going on, man? Hope everything's good. Yep. I know you're still getting your training in and making it happen, man, and taking care of your people. So good to see you check in. Coach Barry, what's good, man? How you feeling? Representing SoCal area. Love it, love it, love it. So, yeah, we checking in, man, and getting it done. So let me see here. Let's go here. Let me make an adjustment here. I'm just gonna make a quick adjustment on the on the YouTube side, and then we're gonna go ahead and get started. So thank y'all for jumping in. There you go, M-Town in the house representing. Arnaldo, what's going on, man? Welcome to the party. Good to see you checking in, man. I love it. I love all my young trainers that's out there really getting it done and making it happen, man. So thanks for jumping in, man. Good morning. Good morning. So now we are live on Facebook. We are also live on YouTube. And, of course, we're live on Instagram as well. So with that said, man, just a little background just in case there's some new people jumping on that might have just came across the platform one form or another. Maybe you're just scrolling. Maybe you're on Facebook or YouTube and just came across it. So my name is Mike Waters. I'm the owner here of Phase One Sports in Las Vegas. We have a couple locations here, training facilities, also one in Hawaii. I'm also a serial entrepreneur, so I have a couple other businesses that are, that I run, that I manage, that I've started, and some that I'm just a part of. So really just fell in love with the whole entrepreneurship and the whole business mindset and the whole, just business as a whole. And so in my experience, I think my passion for business is really what has put me in a position to continue to grow, continue to be successful. Not that everything's been smooth, trust me. There's been a lot of bumps in the road, a lot of bumps. But I think the passion for business and entrepreneurship is really what has allowed me to continue and be creative and figure it out. Even in situations like this with the quarantine and everything going on, it's the entrepreneurs that are creative that figure out ways to make this, figure out ways to win in all of this craziness. These are the ones. We are the ones that are going to survive this and always figure out a way to get it done. So that's just a little background on myself. On all platforms, make sure you guys drop a comment in there, drop a thumbs up or something, or even if it's a Q&A, the last couple minutes, I usually open it up for a couple questions, man, just to, anything, fitness related, business related. Obviously this call or this is about business as a whole. So we try to keep it in that category, but I'm open book. So whatever you need. So with that said, man, let's go ahead and let's get right into it. If you're on Facebook and IG, you'll see the banners and kind of the game plan that I've put together for us. On IG, I'll just, obviously just more verbal. So today's topic, what I really want to discuss is how to have longevity in business. You guys know, like I know, so many businesses that you see pop up and in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, they're gone. You know what I mean? They just, haven't figured out how to survive or how to generate enough revenue or structure or whatever it may be. But in any case, they come and they go, and that's something that, is not always just a bad business. A lot of people, I think, chalk it up and just say, hey, oh, I tried that, it didn't work. And that's probably the simple answer. You know what I mean? Like just keeping it simple. Or it's a good way to just make people feel like, oh, they tried and they worked, so we give you credit for trying. And I understand that. But at the same time, I think there's a couple keys that will help you sustain and help you be successful and hopefully give you that longevity in business. Like I said, I started phase one 17 years ago. And the way I feel, I'm still learning every single day. I'm still figuring things out. But there's a couple key things that I think that have even allowed me to get from day one to 17 years. It's a big gap between the two. So what I want to do is go through a couple things, a couple topics, and hopefully my goal is hopefully somebody that's listening that's either already in business, thinking about, starting a business, or may already have multiple businesses that are successful and they're already at a high level, but this will just serve as a reminder or just a reset, but in any case, let's go ahead and get started because I want to keep this to about 20 minutes. So that way we can get to our Monday and be great. So number one, the first thing that I have. So once again, this is about how to have longevity in business. How do you stay in the game for an extended amount of time? It's in our business, for example, in the fitness industry, every couple of years, a new gym pops up, and everybody's all excited. Oh, did you hear about this gym? It has this, it has that. And granted, typically I don't really worry about it. The first year or so, year and a half, I know it, everyone's going to gravitate towards the new shiny object. And I understand that, but I also understand that, there's some market building that's going to have to happen. There's some structure. There were some startup costs, so there's a lot that factors in there that business is going to have to prove sustainability over a long period of time in order to really become what we would consider a competitor. So I just want to put that out there. So that's the goal of today. So the number one topic, and I just have 3 bullet points. So number one of my 3 is going to be commitment. Now, obviously it's like, oh yeah, you got to be committed. That's the only way you get anything done. And I understand that. And that's probably the simplest way to look at the word commitment. But we're talking about in business right now. We're talking about starting a business, running a business, operating a business. And we're talking about the level of commitment that it takes. There's different levels of commitment in this world, in the entrepreneur world. Some things that pop up when I think about commitment are your time. How are you utilizing your time? How are you utilizing the hours that you do have? Especially if you're a young entrepreneur and you still, have another job or have a full-time job, or you're a parent and you got to take care of the kids and work and start your business. How are you managing your time? Where's your commitment at on time? Because at the end of the day, you only have so many hours to utilize. And so you have a either game plan of you can commit a little bit of time and it's going to take you forever to build that momentum. And you know how it works. If it takes too long, we're human. We're going to lose a lot of that momentum. We're going to lose some of that excitement, some of that energy. We're going to lose it if it takes you too long to get your business off the ground. So in the beginning phases, commitment of your time is going to be the first key point that's going to help you decide if you can create longevity. The second one is, what are you willing to sacrifice? Now, this is still part 1. So when I say second one, this is just a piece. So under commitment, we have title, and then we have sacrifice. What are you willing to sacrifice? For most of us, that's going to be financial. If we really look at it and we be honest with ourselves, there's going to be some things that you purchase, some trips, some, dinners, some nights out that you really probably could have utilized that money towards your business. That money probably could have went to website design, probably could have went to, doing some social media posts and boosting some ads or inventory, depending on what type of business you have. So are you willing to sacrifice some things that you may want or some things that your family may want? If you have a family, you got kids, things like that, then it's going to be very important that everybody is on the same page. Because at the end of the day, if you're going to sacrifice your time, that means somebody in the family, if they don't understand it, is going to say, man, what about us? And so you have to make it clear that this is about a bigger picture and this is about our future, our longevity. And so if you include them in that, then they're going to understand when you're sacrificing time, when you're sacrificing money in certain situations. And then the last piece to commitment to this first title, the last one is going to be management. And so at the end of the day, management to me, management means how are you controlling everything around you? This isn't manager like store manager. This isn't even just a money manager. This is managing everything that entails in your world. That's from your family, your relationships, how, and here's why this is important, because we tend to separate the two. We tend to think that our home life can be a mess, or, our relationships are not healthy and our relationships are up and down. But don't worry, because when I walk out of this door, I'm going to be that happy-go-lucky business owner, entrepreneur. I'm going to go change the world. I'm here to tell you that it's all connected. So when I say management, I mean how you manage everything, every relationship with your kids, your spouse, your girlfriend, boyfriend, your parents back home, your friends in your circle. How do you manage that? Because if you have healthy relationships built around it, then that's going to put you in a better position. And so, like I said, this is number one. So number one, and there's three parts. Number one is your time. Number two is your sacrifice. Number three is how you manage everything around you. So those are my keys in the first bullet point of how to create longevity in business. So I see a couple comments coming in. So I love that. But I'm definitely going to try to stay on course here. So we'll get to some of those if those are questions. So let's go right into number two. So number two, I just popped it up on the screen here on YouTube and Facebook. So number two is going to be your structure and your expansion. So basically your plans for growth. This is something that if I go back to the beginning, I go back to year one, year two, year three, I wish that I would have spent a lot more time in this area. This is where I spend a lot of the time today, but it's also 17 years later. The structure, for example, ultimately will become probably the most important part of your business, because you could have a great business. You can have a great business idea. You can be the best trainer in the world. And you can say, I'm opening my gym because look at these results and look at everything that I've created. And I get all that. And all that is true. Good job. High five. We're good. However, if you don't take the time to develop a structure for your business, for your program, I don't care if it's online, I don't care if it's a product, I don't care if it's a building, I don't care if you're selling t-shirts out of the trunk of your car. It better be a structure to everything that you do. And then as a part of that structure, you need to build in your plans for expansion, your plan for growth. How do you plan on growing this business? At what point are we hiring the first employee? At what point are we going to, hire an assistant to help with the day-to-day tasks? How long are you going to go with where you're doing everything, where you're, selling the product, making the product, packaging the product, shipping the product, customer service for the product? How long are you going to allow that to be your game plan? Because here's the downside. What happens is if we stay in that mindset too long, you end up basically just being self-employed. And there's a big difference between being an entrepreneur and being self-employed. Self-employed is, a doctor technically is self-employed. It's only the work that doctor does. That's typically how they get paid. And then there's other doctors that are self-employed, but they're also business owners, entrepreneurs, and they may have multiple practices. So there's a different mindset. So when it comes to my number two bullet on today's topic is going to be structure and expansion meaning your plan for growth. So number one would be, how do I create the best structure and how do I keep improving that structure? How do I keep getting it better and better and tighter and faster and more efficient? How do I keep, how do I cut costs and raise margins? That's my structure. All that goes into the structure. And then just as important, if not, more important, you never want to say more or less, but equally important is going to be expansion and the mindset to expand. That's it. The growth that we've had in phase one I can say there's different phases that I've been through where I didn't focus on expansion and growth and really, what's next? What can we do? What can we add? Sometimes, just like any other entrepreneur, a lot of times we get stuck in the work. We get stuck in the sprint, in the daily grind, in the meetings, in the back-to-back appointments, and we don't take time to separate from our business, clear it out mentally and say, what's next? Where do I want to go? What's missing? The best example is, even what we're doing here at our South location in Vegas. I mean, that's a good example. We could have just kind of came in and kept our same standard and went, cool, let's just keep working and keep chugging along. But at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is keep implementing things that are going to continue to grow. Let's add physical therapy. Let's add cryotherapy. Let's add different classes. How do we keep expanding? How do we keep growing? How do we keep getting better as a business? If you focus on that, it'll put you in a great, great position and you'll never get stagnant, which is basically, if you're not growing, you're pretty much dying. It's just like anything else. If you're not watering something, you're not taking care of it, it's ultimately is dying. It's just a matter of time. So number 2 is going to be structure. And I'll go back here to the different topics. So once again, this is about how to have longevity in business. That's what today's topic is, longevity in business. The first one that we already covered is commitment. Commitment with your time, your sacrifice, and also your management of everything around you, your entire circle. Number 2, which we're closing out on now. Number 2 is your structure and also your expansion, your plan for growth. Creating a nice business structure and then a plan for growth. And now let's touch on number 3. And after number 3, we'll open it up for a minute and then we're out of here because we got work to do. It's Monday. It's a busy day, so we got to keep it moving. Number 3, passion and purpose. Passion and purpose. Now, if you're on YouTube, Facebook, you see my banner up. And for Instagram, here's what this banner says. It says passion and purpose, but then it says, if it's not there, it better be about money. I'm just going to put it out there. I'm going to put it out there. Some people are going to love it. Some people are going to hate it. Oh, it's never about money. Okay, I get all that. This is what I mean by passion and purpose. And if it's not there, it better be about money. This is what I mean. If you're doing something, if your business is something that you're passionate about, something that really serves a purpose, something that is inside you, I really want to help this person or these type of people. These will be my customers. I want to provide a service that really changes people's lives. That's your passion. And then you take your passion and you marry it to something that serves a purpose. That's a great combination. To me, that is the most effective combination. What I do at Phase One Sports, people that don't know my story, it all really goes back to me playing football in high school, me, my senior year, having 2 scholarship offers and not being able to accept either one because I didn't qualify academically, and then going to a junior college, and then ultimately transferring to UNLV, which is how I got to Las Vegas. And then during all that time, I start thinking, man, how many kids miss their opportunity to go to college or to get that scholarship? And then how many of those kids fell to the streets and, hanging out or selling dope and doing this and doing that. And it's like, man, if they would have just kind of stayed on this course, who knows where they would be. And so that became my passion and my purpose. And that ultimately turned into Phase One Sports. So I'm a big believer in your passion and your purpose meeting, and then building the commitment, building the structure, and ultimately having a successful business. And so the disclaimer to this is this: there are some businesses that you're not passionate about. I'm involved with multiple businesses. I'm passionate about business, about entrepreneurship, about the opportunity to employ other people. So those are all factored in. To employ people, give people jobs, give people benefits, to take care of their family. These are all things that you could be passionate about. But what I'm talking about specifically is this: if you start a business that you are not passionate about, that a phase one, something that, I don't care what it is, something that you believe in, something that you're passionate, something that you would do for free. If you had all the money in the world, what would you do with your time for free? For me, I would probably still be running around with athletes to some degree. We'll still be training. We'll still be doing something related to what I currently do. But If that is not there, if it's not there, my advice would be it should be something that's going to generate a lot of money. Something where it's a product, something in technology, something where you can look at it and say, you know what, I'm passionate about this. It may be a nonprofit, a charitable organization. So I'm going to take my entrepreneur skill set. I'm going to build a business that is going to make millions of dollars. And once I get to this status, and as I make money, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to take care of my community. I'm going to invest into my favorite nonprofit organizations. I'm going to donate all my time to charity. I'm going to donate my resources, my money, my connections back to something that I'm passionate about and serves a purpose. So it's still ultimately, the bottom line is it has to be a little bit deeper than just, I want to start my own business. If that's all you have, and you're watching people do it, and you're watching people run around, and you're looking at the cars and the houses and the watches and all the cool stuff, if that's why you're doing it, you're probably going to fail. Just putting it out there. If you don't have a level of passion and you're not serving a purpose in some area, it's going to be very difficult to fight those battles that you're going to have to fight as an entrepreneur. Those contract issues, those lease agreements, those production costs, the upfront costs, dealing with different people, designers, employees. I mean, that alone is a topic in itself. So my advice as I close out number 3, my advice is to find something that you love, something you're passionate about, and that becomes your mission. And if your business doesn't reflect that, that's fine. Invest all your time, your energy, your sacrifice into that business to grow it to a point where you can go back to what you're passionate about. I don't care if it's youth, kids, it could be music. You want to open a music school for at-risk youth, for inner city kids. I don't care, whatever it is. If it's about the money, that's fine. But I would still tie it back to the passion and something, because I'm telling you, there's another level of energy, another level of excitement that goes into it when you got the right mindset. So with that closes out number 3. If there's any comments, I'll check the boards. I love to just kind of check in from time to time. And yep, see it, facts. So a lot of thumbs up, a lot of good stuff, man. I'm glad you guys are chiming in and just staying focused on your path. So here's one question. So question is simple. How do you stay focused? How do you stay focused throughout the entire process? I think it goes back to what we just said. It's that level of commitment and knowing that it's not going to be easy and just kind of fighting through it. You know what I mean? It's not going to be an easy mission. So and here's the other thing. Don't think that me and everyone else, we're not off track sometimes. There's times that I'm like, dude, I gotta reel it back in. I'm losing focus. I'm sleeping in. I'm just off course. But the best of us recognize that, put yourself back on course and just get back to it. So I wouldn't look at it as an individual thing. I would just look at it more like if you do feel like you're not focused, just dial it back in, get back on course. So that would be my response to that question. Love it. Love it. Yep. Love it. So I see Paul said, let them know about the bigger picture, and that's what it's about. And that's a great point as well when it comes to your team, your family. Paint that picture. Let them in on your vision. One of the things that entrepreneurs tend to do, we have all this vision and global view of what we want, but we don't share it with our team. We don't share it with our family. And then we expect them to get it. When we're up late and then we're up early, we expect them to just see it and be like, oh, but if you haven't paint that picture and you haven't gave them that mindset of like, this is what I'm trying to create, then they're going to look at you like you're crazy. The kids won't understand. But when they see your vision and what you're trying to accomplish and see your passion, they'll want to be involved. They'll want to help you. And that's how it should be. So with that said, I'm actually going to close it out there. We're about 25 minutes in, counting the intro. That puts us at about 20 minutes of good content. So I do want to say before we get off, man, share this with somebody, that needs to hear it. Share it with somebody that needs to check in with us every Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific, of course, because that's where I'm at. So 9 a.m. And we just going to keep it going. I got Drew just hit with one more quick question. What's the best way to talk to family about the plan so they understand? Great question, Drew. So the best way to me is, so here's a mistake that I think we make. Sometimes we expect them to get it, to just understand, or we talk to them like casually, like, oh, I really want to start my business. And then we kind of do it while we're watching TV or while we're eating dinner, and it just becomes like a casual conversation. So to me, the best way to do this is to schedule a time and sit down with the key people that are in your house, whether it's wife, whether it's husband, kids, girlfriend, whoever it is that's in your immediate household. Schedule the time. Hey, tonight at 6 o'clock, man, I just want to get everybody together. I just need to talk to you guys. And really make it that important that where everybody's going, what the heck is he about to talk about? And then just lay it out and be open, be honest. Let them know that you're still trying to figure it out. Let them know there's no guarantee, but you have to try this. You have to put this effort out there. And I need your support. I need everyone in this meeting support. I need it. I have to have it. That's how I'm going to win. That's how we're going to win as a family. If you do that, they'll take it serious. If you just drop it here and there or casually, or you wait till they're frustrated, you're frustrated, and then you try to have the conversation, and it's going to go bad real fast. So that would be my advice on how to communicate with your family. So I love it. That was a great question. That was a great question to end it on. Once again, man, watch it again, take some notes, and most importantly, man, subscribe, share. If you're on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Facebook as well, follow. IG, you know what to do, man. But let's share it. Let's create a community. You know, I want this to be something where we just have more questions and more energy. So thanks for tuning in. This has been Monday Chalk Talk, and I appreciate it, man. Everybody have a great week and go out there and kill it. And most of all, be great. See you on the next one.